Hi, good morning. My name is Father Rayappa. I'm from the village called Kattupadi near Vellore, South India. Today I'm going to talk about the wilderness. The wilderness. God created wilderness, the Garden of Eden wilderness. It's raw. There was no human exploitation there. They are pristine. As God created, you can see and enjoy. God's creation is pretty remarkable, but humans, we come and destroy what God had created. The order and harmony, and man loves to do disorder. Anyway, wilderness. Experience the wonder of creation in the wilderness and discover what the wild reveals about God. The doors of the wild are wide open and at the same time closed to civilization. Its landscapes are strewn with the geographic obstacles, rivers, streams, lakes, and oceans. Forests stand as guardians. Mountains rise up to intimidate and challenge anyone who approaches. And for those who have eyes to see, the wild reveals its treasures. It speaks volumes to those who dare venture through its doors and then waits for our response. The call of the wild. What is it? Why so many of us drawn into the distant horizons? It offers wild places where one can retreat from civilization, reconnect with the Creator and the Creator, find rest and meaning and significance. To some, the wilderness is a frightening place to be avoided. For others, it offers adventure or create a sense of peace in response to a beautiful, pristine wonderland. There are so many wildernesses like Alaska, like Himalayas, or Western Ghats in India, or Amazon, or Congo forest, or Namib Desert, or Thar Desert, Sahara Desert, or even Great Desert of China. So all these places, Siberia, these are all wildernesses. And they are called the final frontiers of our present planet Earth. Most of them, they are wild. They are so large and so formidable, outsiders are dwarfed by landscapes. It's their wilderness overload the senses. It's too much to take in. There are some who can help us to see, some who can help us bring into focus what we might otherwise miss. Wilderness offers a silent environment without man-made distractions. Only by going alone in silence without baggage can one truly get into the heart of the wilderness. All other travel is mere dust. Hotels and shatter. John Muir. People need wild places whether or not they think they do. They need to experience a landscape that is timeless, whose agenda moves at the pace of ice ages. Wilderness puts us in our place. It reminds us that our plans are small and somewhat absurd. Presently, that is 17% of our planet's surface is covered with wilderness. So how do we learn to see the wilderness for what it is? What does the wilderness reveal? The character of nature, of its creator. In the Bible, a man named Job suffers a series of terrible losses and he questions God's goodness. God eventually answers Job with questions of his own. I quote, "Where were you when I laid the earth's foundations? Tell me if you understand. Have you ever given orders to the morning or shown the dawn its place? What is the way to the place where the lightning is dispersed, or the place where the east winds are scattered over the earth? Do you hunt the prey for the lioness, satisfy the hunger of the lions when they crouch in their dens or lie in wait in a thicket? Who provides food for the raven when its young cry out to God and wander about for lack of food? Job chapter 38. In his pain, Job has lost sight of the wisdom and power of God, but now, confronted by the author of creation, his eyes were opened. The sanctuary of the wilderness, we are not the only first to sense its wonder. In the Bible, the prophet Isaiah and King David both remind us that all created things reflect the power and wisdom of their Creator. Even trees, rivers, mountains respond to their Maker. The last book of the Bible, Revelation, describes a time when all creatures worship God together. I quote from the Bible, "Every creature which is in heaven and on earth and under the earth, and such as are in the sea, and all that are in them, I heard saying, Blessed and honor and glory, power be to him who sits on the throne, to the Lamb forever and ever." Revelation chapter 5 verse 13. Sometimes we experience God's creative power through pictures or words, but seeing the wilderness for ourselves can speak to us unexpected ways. In the Apostle Paul's letter to the Romans, he points to creation as a visible reflection of its invisible Creator. I quote from the Romans, "For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that men are without excuse." Romans chapter 1 verse 20. So what is it about the natural world that shows us God's eternal power and divine nature? For openness, there is mathematical precision. In nature, everything works with order and harmony. There is no room for mistakes. Long ago, the prophet Isaiah saw the ability of the natural world to praise its Creator. I quote from Isaiah, "Shout for joy, O heavens, rejoice, O earth, burst into song, O mountains, for the Lord comforts his people and will have compassion on his afflicted ones." Isaiah chapter 49 verse 13. One of the distinctive features of the wild is its complexity and never-ending cycles in plants and fish and mammals. The balance of nature is all around us. The call to a place that is so different from our own artificial environments. The call to the wilderness, a place that is both inviting and imposing, secluded and yet revealing. And to those who respond, the invitation is to see as we've never seen before. To look and then to look again. Keep on looking until something becomes clear, until the whole and the parts come into focus. Here everything works together in wonder. The changing moods are more than inspirational. They are spiritual, but only for those who have eyes to see, for those who want to see. For them, the wild speaks. It speaks volumes about itself, about ourselves, about the wonder of our Creator. So, wilderness, that is God incarnate. And humans, we too, are wilderness incarnate. That is what Adam and Eve, they were products of the wilderness. And I think there are only few places for the future generations. We need to protect some of the wilderness areas because our future generations, they want to see creation in its original condition, how God created. So that piece of land, only little bit we have. We have got a responsibility to conserve and preserve God's original creation for the sake of the future generations. Have a nice day. Bye.